Welcome to View from the Top. I am Modele Sharafa Yusuf and I thank you for joining us. Should state governments borrow money against expected earnings to fund developmental projects, or should they live within their means and spend as they earn? There have been arguments for and against, with those in favor saying citizens are impatient and cannot wait for development to happen, and that as long as you can finance your debt, you go ahead and borrow. Those against say the governors who borrow money do so to make their own administrations look good at the expense of incoming administrations who are then saddled with the debt. Today on View from the Top, I will take the perspectives of two former governors on the debt debate and other sundry issues. Former Lagos State Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola and former Katsina State Governor Ibrahim Shehu Shema are my guests. First, Governor Fashola, who was a true veteran in the Lagos State government. He served 2 terms as Governor of Lagos State, but before taking full charge, he was Chief of Staff to his predecessor. Here's a brief biography of Governor Babatunde Fashola. Babatunde Fashola was born on June 28, 1963. He studied at the University of Benin, where he got a degree in law in 1987. He was a notary public of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and he's a senior advocate of Nigeria. Before becoming governor, he was a member of the State Tenders Board, member Lagos State Executive Council, member State Security Council, and member State Treasury Board, as well as Chief of Staff to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He became governor in 2007 and was re-elected in 2011. In your inaugural address in 2007, you said, and I quote, "My administration will pay particular attention to the core areas of education and the development of quality human capital, job creation and support for private enterprise, infrastructural development, public transportation, crime fighting, and the environment," and so forth. In which area would you score yourself the highest, and which one presented the biggest challenge, and why?
I think it would be inappropriate for a student, as it were, to write an examination, set the examination for himself, and give himself results. But the point to make simply is that every government is challenged by these issues of public health, public transportation, healthcare, jobs, all over the world. It's the same problem at national and subnational level. What changes and differs is the complexity from time to time. The most I can say on behalf of my team and I is that we made an effort, and I think that we moved things forward. But the final verdict really will be the verdict of the people we served, and I will respect that verdict.
There's been security challenges everywhere in Nigeria in the last 6 years, but Lagos has enjoyed relative peace. What did you do to achieve this peace in Lagos State?
Essentially, we first need to continue to do the simplest things that we did here, which was provide equipment and resource for the security personnel. If they don't have equipment and resource, they are unlikely to be able to do their work. One of the things I found out, as I said at the last security town hall meeting, was that I discovered, to my very, very big surprise, that the rapid response squad that was responsible for reacting to violent crime had only 37 rifles at the time. And that was the period where we had a bank robbery almost every day of the week. People forget that now. We had robberies and carjackings, and what we used to see was that the response will come when the robbers have gone. So my first week, my first meeting with them, why do you get there late? We found there were no vehicles, there was no fuel supply, and more importantly, they told me that, look, we don't have enough guns. The remaining guns were in the police stations, but the team that was almost a 2,000 strong force had only 37. So the first thing we did was to buy thousands of guns, millions of rounds of ammunition for them, patrol vehicles, bulletproof vests. If they must put their lives at risk in order to defend you and I, we must do some minimum things to encourage them. Bought armored personnel carriers for them, which have turned out to be very useful in their protection and defense. Put all of them in frontline work on a global life insurance, from which unfortunately we've had to pay because we lost some of them. But these were the things we started with and we continue to do. Some of the vehicles that they have used over the years, what we've done, we boarded it back to them and sold it to them. So, paid them a monthly allowance in addition to what they were getting from the federal government, and generally be there for them. So, recognize them when they show bravery and valor, give prizes, awards, medals, inspire them, show that we value the work that they do. And I think that that has moved us on. But work is not finished. The security is first prevention of crime. And when those odds tip in favor of the criminal, apprehension. We must demonstrate that if you commit a crime, we will apprehend you. In the way that we apprehended the gang that shot through our state several years ago, robbing at the international airport, and brought them to justice. In the way that we apprehended those who tried to bomb us with 17 suitcases of explosives and took them to court, prosecuted them successfully. In the way that we have apprehended 4 out of the gang that attacked us in Lekki. So that's our reputation. We don't forget. We will come after you. And we will bring you to justice if you succeed in the best way. But the work is not finished. We need to build more prisons because it's part of the justice system, more courtrooms, invest in a forensic laboratory to help men and women of the police force detect, analyze, investigate, and apprehend criminals. It's a long journey, so it's work that is still going.